My name is Pip Hinman and I'm here representing the Sydney Anti-AUKUS Coalition as well as the Anti-AABCC campaign coalition. Well, we're here to talk about the recent alarming figures supplied by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute on military spending. These updates have come just before Anzac Day, now steeped in nationalism and mythology, which is in fact another good time to reflect on war and what we can do to stop the next one before it starts. The SIPRI figures indicate there has been a large increase in military spending globally at a time when the world faces crises that can be only resolved by political means. Unfortunately, the same pattern is repeated in Australia. Defence Minister Richard Marles told the National Press Club last week that Australia's spending would rise to a whopping 2.4% of GDP, up from the current 1.9%. Labor is spending more on the military than it does on public education. A government which truly has our interests at heart would allocate our taxes to help ease the cost of living crisis, fix the broken public health system, as well as housing and welfare. Excessive spending on defence is a product of a bipartisan approach to the US military build-up in Southeast Asia. But as Defence Minister Marles admitted last week, it's not actually about defending Australia. He said no country was about to invade. It's actually about forward defence. Bipartisanship from coalition and Labor governments puts US foreign policy first, ahead of our social needs. This has led to catastrophic conflicts such as Vietnam, Iraq and Afghanistan. And now, of course, we know it's clear that Australia is preparing for another war, this time with China. Today, US Marines, Navy and Air Force are in a position to launch attacks on China from Australia. The government may not even be consulted. Certainly the public won't be consulted. As we know, war power reform is yet another broken promise. The AUKUS nuclear submarine deal alone represents a massive increase in military spending, contributing to a rise of $53 billion in the next budget and $100 billion over the 2033-34. The other major concern, of course, is any war with China could rapidly become a nuclear war, a war that no one can win. Well, Sydney Anti-AUKUS Coalition and Anti-AABCC campaign coalition stand with the majority of people in Australia who say Australia must remain neutral and not go to war on China. And we're saying today that the International Day to cut spending on weapons, to spend that money instead on a climate transition, cost of living crisis and the lack of affordable housing. Thank you.